Blessed be all my Aries people out there, sun, moon, and rising. It's time to have a look and see what is going on when it comes to your monthly astrological forecast for the month of August 2025. And just a quick reminder for everybody out there, if you ever want to get a personal reading with me, head on over to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com, or you can follow the links in the down bar below. So what is going on when it comes to your August? August is kind of interesting for everybody, but for you, it's all about basically joining opportunities, merging paths, and merging spaces and journeys with other people in order to raise up all involved. Uranus is sextile to Neptune and to Saturn, as well as trine Pluto all month long. And Uranus is in Gemini, your third house of communications, commitments, contracts, helpful third parties, and collaborations. And all throughout August, but especially on and around the 11th and on and around the 28th, there is a big focus of you starting to actually get more involved in the goings-ons, the projects, the roads, the paths of others, and them getting more involved with yours and merging to raise you guys up. Now, this can be something personal. This could involve more project or social life-oriented priorities. This could be big for career. This could be all kinds of different link-ups, different unifications, and different help coming your way. You getting more involved with others, them getting more involved with you. However, this is going to, of course, change a lot of things we may have walked into August with from their normal, as is the way of Uranus, and even Pluto for that matter, but it will be extremely auspicious. We also have the Sun and Mercury retrograde together in Leo, and Mercury will be turning direct on the 11th of August. And this is in your fifth house of love and romance, creative enterprises, personal business enterprises, and artistic pursuits. And with the Sun and Mercury here, this is going to be a time, especially during the retrograde period, which goes up until the 11th, where a lot of old fires, a lot of old adventures, a lot of old wants, a lot of old wishes, a lot of old, old fantasies are getting a chance to be reclaimed, reconnected, and relit. In fact, for a lot of you, the entirety of August could even end up being an opportunity to do some relationship reinvention, whether it's for those of you who are coupled and you're looking to spice things up or bring some old pleasures back into the present, or you are single or you're looking for a new partner. We also have a full moon in Aquarius on the 9th. And this is falling in your 11th house of friendships, support system, and community. And with the full moon in the 11th house, we usually see some kind of culmination, a page turn, or transition that is altering the lay of the land of your social life. And for a lot of you, this could indicate either a big graduation moment for important friendships, an important group, or maybe even a chance to be raised up on the shoulders of others, or even have certain friendships or connections get stronger. However, it can also, and likely will, also bring up situations where we need to pay attention to where the company we keep might not be contributing to creating the best experience for us and for others. I've got a bit of incense ash in my hair there. And what can sometimes happen with this full moon is that we may actually see where something might have to be cleaned or cleared out of our social circle or out of a social space. And so that can come up as well. But again, it is about some kind of important graduation or shift, again, as far as your social life setup is concerned, for your own good. We also have a beautiful combo with Venus and Jupiter together in your fourth house of home, family, living situation, and home economy, Cancer. And they will pretty much be there together all the way up until the 25th, when Venus moves on into Leo. With Venus and Jupiter being together in your fourth house, you are coming into a place of a lot of new comforts, a lot of new opportunities to attract wealth into the home, into a home-based business operation. You may be noticing that's also going on when it comes to yourself, to romantic partners, as well as family money. And this is also a beautiful time for anybody looking to make some kind of environmental transformation, whether this is a move or something that you want to do around the house, something that you want to transform about the way things are running, and also bring more love and draw closer important family connections. After the 25th, well, Venus moves on into Leo and begins a very sweet honeymoon period for all of you Aries people, and not just for the end of August, but also a great deal of September. We have Mars moving into Libra on the 6th, and this is the area of your life that rules close one-on-one connections, joint ventures, and partnerships, be they platonic, romantic, business, it does not matter. And with Mars here, this is a brilliant time for removing blockages and removing obstacles that might be standing in the way of important relationship and partnership goals, or standing in the way of the attainment of the ideal partnership or relationship situations. When we have the Mars in Libra experience, however, we do have to remember that sometimes it's going to be identifying blocks in the form of what those blocks are and where they come from. And sometimes we don't think so much about solving blocks and problems so much as we do soothing and salving them. And Mars can create some tension in interpersonal relationships throughout the course of this month, but it is going to be worth it, especially for those of you looking to, again, do some block busting. And finally, we have, at the end of the month, the Sun and a new moon lighting up Virgo, your 6th house of work, reputation, and your schedule. And this is opening up a new commitment, new fresh start, new clean slate, new beginning that is actually giving you a chance to transform something about a professional or financial trajectory, something that's going to make life a lot more comfortable as we go into September, but also set you up for possibly some other big gain as we go into the end of the year, as we get to about December, January, and put you in perfect line with that. So that is what we've got for your astrology for August, Aries. I hope you found this helpful. If you did, don't forget my name is Nico, Son of Selene, and should you ever want to get a personal reading with me, head on over to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com. Blessed be all of my Taurus people out there, Sun, Moon, and Rising. It's time to have a look and see just what is going on when it comes to your monthly astrological forecast for August 2025. And just a quick reminder for everybody out there, if you ever want to get a personal reading with me, head on over to my website, integrativemysticism.com, or you can follow the links in the down bar below. So what is going on when it comes to your August? So August for everybody is very, very special. We've got Uranus in Gemini, sextile to Saturn and Neptune, as well as to Pluto, all in the same month. And this is going to be running all month long. This is not something that's just kind of for one day. There are some special dates where these energies peak a little bit on and around the 11th and on and around the 28th, respectively, but it is mostly an all month long thing. And for a lot of you, this is going to be a time where you might notice some very big win conditions get set up around your income, around your job, around working conditions, and opportunities for you to maybe step into a wealthier way, not just in terms of your work and your job and your finances, but maybe even change a direction that maybe you would like to take your career or your vocation or what you do for a living. However, this is going to arise from sharing spaces and maybe exploring other journeys with other people, other sides of the office, other sides of maybe your social space, or maybe even seeing what life is like on the other side of the tracks, as it were, when it comes to all things professional or vocational. Now, some of you may be noticing some breakthroughs here, whether it's you'd like to get off a certain career track and get on a different one, or you are looking to maybe make some kind of big pivot in order to boost your earnings. But you've got to be ready because, again, merging spaces, merging journeys, merging lanes, and exchanging things with other people going to be a big deal here as this goes on. We also have the Sun and Mercury retrograde together in Leo, and Mercury will be turning direct on the 11th. And so all throughout pretty much this month, for the majority, there is also this big focus on recovering things or returning to maybe happier times as it relates to family matters, and also drawing in opportunities to restore, reinvent, and reconnect with things that we have lost touch with. This is also a very, very good aspect for anybody looking to maybe reverse or undo anything that has kind of followed us in terms of maybe old challenges, old issues, or unfinished business as it relates to either material or practical affairs or family affairs or household income. And throughout the course of especially the first couple of weeks of August, but pretty much all of August, you're going to get a chance to do just that and kind of get a lot of things straightened up and flying right, as it were. We also have a full moon in Aquarius on August 9th, and this is your 10th house of upward mobility, status, promotions, raises, and career. And it's this 2 weeks that follows the 9th where a lot of you are going to be getting opportunities to raise yourselves up in the world through some kind of important graduation process, a changing of role, or possibly even noticing a transformation in a work environment or around an authority structure. This full moon is very auspicious for you, but it is going to require you to also learn as you go, because this could actually change how you connect with what you do, or maybe even change what you do as far as your vocation, your role, your job is concerned, whether it's something brand new or an internal move. We also have Venus and Jupiter together in Cancer pretty much all month long. Venus will be moving on into Leo on the 25th. And with Venus and Jupiter in Cancer, your third house of communications, pacts, promises, commitments, helpful third parties, and collaborations, you really do want to pay attention to when people are really showing up for you. Because Venus in the third house is all about hookups coming from helpful third parties, matchmaking, go-betweens, referrals, and even gifts coming your way that are helping you out in both your personal life and your professional life. And Jupiter is coming in as well to help make something that maybe could be more prolific, successful, or something that could be more, let's just say a bigger influence in a good way on the world that you've got going on in your life, all the bigger. Jupiter could also indicate some kind of important opportunity for a quick maneuver to get onto a winning team somewhere as far as a professional or social matter is concerned. After the 25th, Venus moves on into Leo, where she's going to be drawing in a lot of wonderful material comforts and security to your home life, and also giving you a chance to strengthen and get closer to some choice family relationships that actually are going to be very important connections for you to have and keep as we go through September and beyond. Mars is going to be entering Libra on August 6th, and again, we have this theme of things becoming very active and competitive in workspaces, and you may notice some competitive opportunities or competitive shifts going on in workspaces that you could actually be using to rake in money very, very fast, or to climb any kind of ladder really, really fast. But you want to be careful because Mars in the 6th house can also bring a very competitive attitude to people. It can bring a very competitive attitude to coworkers and to colleagues and to clients and customers and the people that you serve and serve with. And so it might make for also a fairly frenetic month work-wise, August and September. And finally, we also have the sun and a new moon together in Virgo on the 23rd. And the sun will actually be in Virgo up until week 3 of September. And this is creating a very important series of new beginnings in love and romance and partnerships. Because the sun and the new moon are coming together so early, it really is about fresh starts for everybody, regardless of what their relationship status is. And so this could indicate new beginnings, a new story, a new journey for you who are coupled, a new direction, a new destination, or a new story unfolding for you and your relationship or your marriage. And this can also indicate new relationship opportunities as well for those of you who are single or are available. However, with the sun, there's also going to be a big focus on delving into strong, healthy, fulfilling friendships in those relationships, whether it's your relationship with your partner or if you're single and meeting somebody new. However, focus on the friendship side of things, because the sun in here is also going to be working on making sure everyone is better friends with each other, not just partners. So that is what we got for your astrology for August. I hope you found this helpful. If you did, don't forget my name is Nico, Son of Selene, and should you ever want to get a personal reading with me, head on over to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com. Blessed be all of my Gemini people out there, sun, moon, and rising. It's time to have a look and see what's going on when it comes to your monthly astrological forecast for August 2025. And just a quick reminder for everybody out there, if you ever want to get a personal reading with me, head on over to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com, or you can follow the links in the down bar below. So what is going on when it comes to your month? Well, August is rather unique for everybody, and we actually see this Uranus in your sign, Gemini, sextile to Saturn and Neptune, as well as trine Pluto all month long, and with some important peak periods happening on and around the 11th and the 28th, respectively. Now, with Uranus in this much activity all month long, even with the peaks included, it's important to pay attention to what is going on, where a lot of new opportunities in your life are coming your way from kind of merging spaces and merging paths with other people. Uranus sextile to Saturn and Neptune in particular is likely going to be putting you in a space where a whole new world is opened up to you, or a world that's already been opened up to you is becoming more substantial because of either a friend or a social connection that you have. And this is going to be something that not only shows up, but something that also transforms maybe the future trajectory of something that you've been working on all by yourself, or something that's been a personal goal that you'd like to see attained, right? Because Uranus is in your sign. It's all about your path, your story, irrespective of what you've shared with other people so far. We also have Pluto involved, though, which is going to force you to kind of get out of your bubble this month in order to actually be able to experience whatever this is. And so a lot of you Gemini people might be getting a chance to have a whole new world opened up to you through social contacts or a friend or a social connection. What that could actually be an enormous boon to you in terms of your social life, your career, your personal life, your spiritual life, or just recreation in general, but you are going to have to be ready to leave the bubble for it. We also have the Sun and Mercury retrograde in Leo, and Mercury is going to turn direct on the 11th, and that will stay in Leo for the rest of August. But with the Sun and Mercury retrograde together kind of setting the tone for the month, a big part of this month for you is also going to be about reversing, renegotiating, and rearranging a lot of commitments, contracts, and binding agreements. Now, this could happen as an opportunity, especially when it comes to things you want to reverse, renegotiate, undo, or rewind. However, this could also bring things about by necessity and circumstance. So in the end of the day, it is something that is going to be good, but it could still be a stressful period, especially if we have a lot of other stuff kind of riding on things that are not really good for us, but that can be sorted out after Mercury turns direct after the 11th. We also have a full moon in Aquarius on August 9th, and this is going to be removing some kind of block or some kind of container that has actually been a profound influence on you for some time. This is happening in your 9th house, and so this is the area that talks about big moves, big travel opportunities, as well as big business, and anything to do with your spiritual life and and any official matters, right? So this can sometimes remove a blockage that has been keeping us bound or contained in such a situation to our detriment, or remove something that has actually been keeping good things out or keeping us trapped in something we did or did not know was not good for us. And that's going to be revealed as we go into the fortnight following the 9th. We also have Venus and Jupiter together in Cancer pretty much all month long. Venus will be leaving and going into Leo on the 25th. But for the majority of August, these two are in your 2nd house of income, employment, and security. And business is flourishing for the Gemini people. A lot of you are just making money hand over fist. With Venus in your 2nd house, you're becoming a bit of a money magnet. And Jupiter is taking all of the income avenues you have and helping them to expand into ones that pay out more, whether it is expanding what you already have or maybe even attracting and bringing in superior opportunities to what you've become used to. After the 25th, Venus will be moving on into your 3rd house, the area of communications, pacts, promises, and commitments, as well as helpful third parties and collaborations. And you might be in for some very important help from friends and allies that are able to actually link you up, hook you up, or match you up with things that you have been having a hard time finding or attaining for yourself. Mars will be entering Libra on the 6th of August and be there for the next month and a half or so. And this is your 5th house of love and romance, as well as personal business enterprises and artistic endeavors and artistic pursuits. And with Mars here, this is a time where a lot of you are getting a chance to enjoy a bit more wildness, a bit more passion, and also a lot more adventure in your personal life. Mars likes to enjoy the fire as well as a touch of the carnal. And this is a time where you might notice things are not only getting quite hot for yourselves, but also a lot of obstacles and a lot of complications that maybe have been creating issues either in your love life or around a particular relationship goal are getting challenged by Mars. And it's nice to see complications get challenged. However, Mars can sometimes require us to be a bit more vulnerable and a bit more open and honest with our communications than we normally are. So be careful. You're just going to have to be a little bit extra authentic during this period to get through the challenging aspects. And finally, on the end of August, we've got the Sun and New Moon in Virgo. And this is going to be creating a new beginning on the home and family front for you. So a new moon, of course, is all about new beginnings, clean slates, fresh starts, and new commitments. And so this is opening up a really good end of August and beginning of September for any of you looking to make some kind of new beginning or change around a household, home economy, or living situation setup. It's a beautiful time for anybody looking to make a move or to begin some kind of home project, or maybe even make some kind of transformation around a family setup or home-based business operation. And you may be noticing the Sun bringing a lot more fun and games in to, of course, make it a more pleasurable experience as we do. So that's what we've got for your astrology and August Gemini. I hope you found this helpful. If you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You know I appreciate it. And if you ever want to get a personal reading with me, head on over to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com. Blessed be all of my Cancerian people out there, Sun, Moon, and Rising. It's time to have a look and see just what's going on when it comes to your monthly astrological forecast for the month of August 2025. And just a quick reminder for everybody out there, if you ever want to get a personal reading with me, you just need to head on over to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com, or you can follow the links in the down bar below. So, what's going on when it comes to August? August is actually a very cool month for everybody. We've got this month-long Uranus in Gemini, sextile Neptune and Saturn, and trine Pluto experience. And everybody is going to be noticing some very important track changes, usually involving merging paths, spaces, and journeys with other people. And for you, with Uranus being in your 12th house, which is the area of the past, the history of oneself or one's path as it affects the present, as well as secrets, hidden opportunities, and shortcuts, there is likely going to be a lot coming up this month for you where you are getting a chance to make a clean break away from maybe a path or a track that you've been on for some time, or break away from old influences, old eras, or maybe old commitments that are still negatively affecting the present. Now, this could likely show up in the form of one, two, or both ways regarding money, career, and bonus capital. Pluto is in an area of your chart that does rule bonus capital and bonus monies, and Saturn and Neptune are in your career sector. However, you are going to need to be ready to also give up some things that maybe you have been committed to, or that you have been focused on, or you have been maybe stuck in or stuck on, whether you wanted to be or not, in order to capitalize on this. And again, especially pay attention to what's going on and around the 11th and on and around the 28th. We also have the Sun and Mercury retrograde together in Leo, and Mercury will be turning direct on the 11th. And this is your income and security sector, as well as your sector of employment. And it looks like there is going to be something coming up where a lot of you are probably going to need to be ready to adjust for a big alteration to how life at work works. And this could be something good, but the process could be very inconvenient. However, this could also be a beautiful month for a lot of you to do some recovery work, especially when it comes to recovering past opportunities we didn't know we were missing, or maybe even recovering again some old money that we maybe would like to see come back. We also have a full moon in Aquarius on August 9th, and that is making for a very hot, very sexy middle of August for the Cancerian people, because in the 2 weeks following, a full moon in the 8th house, which does rule intimacy and intimate encounters, you may be finding that it's time for a bit of wildness, and it's also a time for a bit of fantasy fulfillment and maybe a bit of erotic adventure. And this could be something that is really livening things up in relationships, or maybe bringing in the folks that are there to give you that experience if you are single or are available. This can also be, funny enough, in a completely different topic, a really good period, especially in the 2 weeks following the full moon, for a lot of you to be able to clear or let go of any kind of debts or anything that might still attach you to things that you need to let go of for the greater good. We also have Venus and Jupiter together in your sign, and this is a strong combo up until the 25th, when Venus moves on into Leo. Venus is turning you into a favor and love and affection magnet, and you can make that work for you however you want to make that work for you. But it's a time where you're also going through some major transformations as to how you want to hold your social position in the world, and also attract to yourself a lot of really supportive people to build up an ideal support system. And Jupiter is also going to be broadening your horizons, especially when it comes things all project and money oriented. And you may be noticing your popularity and your reputation soaring both on and off the job. Once we get to the 25th and beyond, Venus will be moving on into your second house of income and employment, and you'll be noticing money is flowing to you a lot easier and with a lot less effort as we go up into September. We also have Mars entering Libra on August 6th, and this is your fourth house of home, family, living situation, and home economy. And with Mars in this part of your chart from the 6th all the way up into October, there is going to be a pretty strong push for a lot of you to actually get a chance to shift gears, as it were, when it comes to maybe something you're trying to do around a home based business operation, a home project, or maybe a move. This is, however, also a really good transit for anybody who is maybe thinking about working on eliminating any kind of blocks or challenges around home or family concerns that have maybe been keeping us or our family stuck in a bad pattern or stuck in a bad way. Just keep in mind, with Mars in the fourth house, sometimes family challenges can come up. Not everybody handles intense astrology energy with dignity, and so be prepared. There could be some family squabbles in August and September. And finally, we do also have the Sun and a new moon lighting up the sign Virgo on the 23rd. And this is creating a series of new beginnings for you in your third house of communications, pacts, promises, contracts, as well as helpful third parties and collaborations. And a new moon and the sun here, it's really going to actually not just be for the final week of August. It's also going to be an important influence of the first week of September, is giving you a chance to actually get connected or hooked up by somebody with maybe an opportunity that is going to help open a door in your life that you've been not able to open yourself, whether this is around a personal goal, whether this is around a road you've been trying to take. However, I feel like it is going to be something that's unconventional to you. It's out of your wheelhouse, and so you are going to need to learn as you go. So that is what I've got for you, Cancerian people. I hope you found this helpful. And if you did, don't forget my name is Nico, Son of Selene, and should you ever want to get a personal reading with me, head on over to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com. Blessed be all of my Leo people out there, Sun, Moon, and Rising. It's time to have a look and see just what is going on when it comes to your monthly astrological forecast for August 2025. And just a quick reminder for everybody out there, if you ever want to get a personal reading with me, head on over to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com, or you can follow those links in the down bar below. So what is going on when it comes to your month of August? Well, August is actually very special for everybody because we have this very strong month-long transit engagement with Uranus in Gemini, sextile to Saturn and Neptune, as well as trine to Pluto in Aquarius. And while this is a month-long experience for everybody, we also want to pay close attention to what's going on and around the 11th and on and around the 28th, where these energies will be their strongest. Now, Uranus is in your 11th house of friendships and your support system. And there is something coming up here where you are getting a chance to really explore uncharted territory with regards to important opportunities that will arise from connecting with other people on their journeys, their stories. It's almost like you're connecting with people that are going to be actually aiming towards the same goals and accomplishments as you. Now, this could show up in terms of social connections, professional collaborations, or maybe even partnership or alliance opportunities that are really going to shake things up all around you, but you are going to need to be ready to shake things up all around you yourself. This is also a time where a whole new world is coming to the table as far as maybe your social life, your spiritual life, or maybe even around your sense of community is concerned. But this is going to also be very enlivening in your love life, in addition to your platonic support system. We also have the Sun and Mercury retrograde in your sign. Mercury is turning direct on the 11th. And this is going to be a period where a lot of you are probably going to be getting back in touch with things that you may have missed out on in the past, things that you wish you kept doing, or things that you had to pass up, or things that you had to give up, or things that you had to release as a compromise for whatever reason. And this can actually be very special a month for that. Just bear in mind that while Mercury retrograde in one's sign is not necessarily as difficult as it is for everybody else, it can be a time where you may undergo some moments where you need to be ready to release or let go of things that maybe are holding on, keeping you in a life that doesn't necessarily belong to you. We also have a full moon in Aquarius on the 9th, and this is creating a momentous 2-week period between the 9th and the 23rd, where you are seeing some kind of major shift or era change occur around your partnership sector. So this is the area that talks about the boyfriend, girlfriend, the BFF, the business partner, the husband, wife, all of the people you have your most involved one-on-one individual relationships with. Now, a full moon here can indicate absolutely a transformation of status, or perhaps the opportunity to connect with somebody that will eventually change status with you. Or this could indicate the closing of a story, an era, or a time period that you have been sharing. This can also indicate a change in a relationship direction, or the change in the direction of a business partnership or a friendship. And there could be a bit of an adjustment period that follows because of it. We also have Venus and Jupiter together in your 12th house of the past, private matters, secrets, hidden opportunities, and shortcuts. And with Venus and Jupiter together here, you are going to actually be benefiting from a lot of favors, as well as a lot of important calls that are getting made, whether you know it or not, by people you may or may not know are looking out for you. Jupiter in this part of your chart for the entirety of 2025 from now until we go into next summer is basically here to set you up with folks that are going to lift you up from behind the scenes. This can include important friends, this can include partners, this can include authority figures, or just helpers who come and go. But with Jupiter here, there could be something happening where you are receiving some kind of important gift or favor that is going to change the tone of the rest of your 2025, thanks to Venus being there as well. Venus will eventually move on into your sign on the 25th, and you're becoming a bit of a love, attention, and affection magnet. And how you want to use that is on you. But it's not just for the end of August, it's also September. We have Mars entering Libra on the 6th, and this is your 3rd house of communications, pacts, promises, commitments, as well as helpful third parties and collaborators. Now, Mars in this part of your chart can actually be very advantageous because this can indicate or signal opportunities for you to have people go to bat for you. When we have Mars in the 3rd house, people show up to help us solve problems that we can't solve on our own or that we've just been kind of living with. It assembles the dream team, it assembles the squad, and you may be finding that Mars is bringing champions into your life to help you fight certain battles or accomplish certain goals, either through collaboration or just out of the goodness of their own will and goodwill. Mars in the 3rd house can also be a wonderful time for a lot of you to be able to break out of a lot of contracts, commitments, and agreements that have exerted a binding influence over you. And that's going to not just be, again, a theme for August, but pretty much all of September as well. And finally, we have the Sun and a new moon lighting up Virgo on the 23rd, which is setting up not only the final week or so of August, but also the first week or so of September with some kind of really strong new beginning opportunity around work and financial matters. And whether this is something that is a brand new commitment or a new evolution, it's likely to pay off. So that's what I've got for you Leo folks out there. I hope you found this helpful. If you did, don't forget my name is Nico, Son of Selene, and should you ever want to get a personal reading with me, head on over to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com. Blessed be all of my Virgo people out there, Sun, Moon, and Rising. It's time to have a look and see what is going on when it comes to your monthly astrological forecast for August 2025. And just a quick reminder for everybody out there, if you ever want to get a personal reading with me, just head on over to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com, or you can follow those links in the down bar below. So what is going on when it comes to your August? August is a very special month for everybody. We have Uranus in a very strong sextile to Saturn and Neptune, as well as trine to Pluto all month long, with some important key dates to keep in mind where the energy is a lot stronger, especially on and around the 11th and on and around the 28th. And for you, this month is all about shaking up your career, upward mobility, and what you actually do and where you want to go in your career and vocation for the better, but likely in a way that requires you to be ready for some kind of shift or migration, move, or transfer, either literally or figuratively or on paper in some way in order to make it happen. Uranus is transforming how things operate for you as far as your work life and career are concerned. But with the connection he's making to Pluto, it's also giving you a chance to go where the action is with something that actually has a lot more meaning to you and is also a lot more financially rewarding. And with Saturn and Neptune in the mix, you may find that some bonus capital is very much on the way, maybe even something that's going to become a regular thing if you play your cards right. We also have the Sun and Mercury retrograde together in Leo. And Mercury will be turning direct on the 11th, but the tone of August is really set by the retrograde Sun combo. And this is your 11th house, sorry, your 12th house. 12th house. I just said 11, so it was on my mind. But it's your 12th house of the past, private matters, secrets, hidden opportunities, shortcuts, and old business that could be affecting the present. Now, with the Sun and Mercury retrograde in the 12th house, a lot of you are getting a chance to uncover a lot of secrets or a lot of advantages that you didn't know were available to you to put to work where you would need them to be put to work. This could be something that could be very helpful to you with a personal project or goal, something you're looking to do for your home or family, your love life, or maybe even a future plan or project. With Mercury retrograde, however, be mindful. A lot of secret intel and a lot of secrets are just going to be shared with you from all kinds of different sources and people. And sometimes we might get a bit of a running mouth when we have Mercury retrograde in the 12th house. So you don't want to be betraying anybody's confidence when it comes to August, because again, you're going to be privy to a lot of inside information as well as a lot of things kept in confidence that you want to be smart about. Sometimes it will be relevant to you, sometimes it will be very helpful to you, sometimes it'll get you ahead of the game, sometimes it's none of those things, but it's something that you do need to keep in confidence. We have a full moon in Aquarius on the 9th, and this is your 6th house of work, reputation, schedule, and life setup. And in the 2 weeks that follow the 9th, you might be noticing a radical change going on around a work scenario, a community, or a team setup. And this is likely something that is going to help you to change out of something that you've already grown out of, and also align you with something that's going to actually give you quicker upward mobility. This could be a change in role, a change in schedule, or maybe even a change in space. Whatever the case is, it could also be something that does an environmental shift with people around you. After the full moon, 2 weeks is over, things are definitely a lot more clear and a lot more fun, but it might be an adjustment time for you. We also have Venus and Jupiter in Cancer pretty much all month long up until the 25th. And with Venus there, this is going to be a time where you might want to allow a little bit more time for your friends and getting out, because Venus in the 11th house indicates good fortune coming to us through associations. And so whether this is an opportunity for a lot of you to raise yourself up in the world through the help from your friends, or you may be finding that even your love life is becoming a lot more extroverted, a lot more socially outgoing, it's all great. In fact, for those of you who are curious about love, Venus in the 11th house brings a lot more fun and, again, ambition and adventure to your relationships. And if you're single or available, it may actually be through a friend or a group that you're a part of that love is found. Jupiter is also going to be making you a lot more popular because Jupiter likes to do that in the 11th house, but he's going to also be transforming the way that you relate to community. And with Jupiter here, you may find that you are also getting pushed into positions where you might even be a bit of a leader in some of your social circles where you've been a follower before. After we get to the 25th and beyond the 25th, we've got Venus in Leo, and Venus is going to be bringing you all kinds of secret goodies and possibly some opportunities for some fun romantic escapades and getaways as we go from the last week of August and into early September. Mars is entering Libra, your second house of income, employment, as well as your house of security on the 6th, and he'll be here for a good while, even into September. And with Mars here, this is a beautiful time for a jump in your earning power. Mars in the second house likes to make us go a little bit hard on the overtime and a little bit hard on the extra hours, extra projects, and even opportunities to break some glass ceilings and earning cap barriers. However, Mars in the second house, if we're not careful, can also have us burning the candle at both ends. So just try to make sure that you understand moderation and know your limits. Don't make promises you can't keep, and don't overfill your plate, because there will be plenty of temptation to do that. And finally, we also have the sun and a new moon in your sign on the 23rd. And the final week of August and the first week of September, we have got a beautiful opportunity for a new beginning around some kind of personal ambition, personal project, or something that you're trying to do for just you, or possibly something that you have wanted to do for just you for a very, very long time. This is something that is a part of your personal story and path, irrespective of what's going on with other people, right? So it's not about what you have tied up with partners and friends and family. This would be something deeply personal, but a new beginning in the first house is all about having a chance to have a personal wish get granted as the first few steps of that wish granting get underway. But you will have to be ready to invest, and you have to be ready to nurture the seeds that get planted. So that's what I've got for your astrology for August. Virgo, I hope you found this helpful. If you did, don't forget my name is Nico, Son of Selene, and should you ever want to get a personal reading with me, head on over to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com. Blessed be all of my Libra people out there, Sun, Moon, and Rising. It's time to have a look and see what's going on when it comes to your monthly astrological forecast for August 2025. And just a quick reminder for everybody out there, if you ever want to get a more personal reading from me, head on over to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com, or you can follow the links in that down bar below. So what is going on when it comes to your August? I've been telling everybody that August is a very unique month in that we have Uranus recently arrived in Gemini in a month-long engagement, sextile to Saturn and Neptune in Aries, as well as trine Pluto in Aquarius. And again, this is a month-long experience, but there are some peak times to pay close attention to, namely on and around the 11th and on and around the 28th. And for you, this is going to be kind of getting you out of the house, getting you out of your rut, getting you out of your routine, getting you out of a lot of cycles and loops. Because Uranus is in a part of your chart that's all about getting you out into the wide world, out where the action is, and also getting you an opportunity to explore new dynamics, especially because of Saturn and Neptune in Aries, when it comes to partnerships and close one-on-one connections, whether these are friendships, whether they are business partnerships, business alliances, or romantic partnerships. And with this beautiful Uranus trine to Pluto as well, you're getting a chance to explore a lot of new pleasures, but this is, again, taking you out of your backyard. You are not going to be in Kansas anymore, because this is going to be a shift that does actually merge a lot of journeys that you've been on with another person or with several other people. Again, friendship, business, romantic, it does not matter. But you've got to be willing to leave old ways, old patterns, and, well, change old ways and old patterns and adapt authentically for this, because this can be a really successful period for a lot of you, but it's not for the faint of heart. We also have the Sun and Mercury retrograde in Leo, and then Mercury is turning direct on the 11th. And this is going to be a time where a lot of you are getting a chance to reconnect, relink, and reignite or reinvent a lot of your social life. Mercury retrograde in your 11th house is actually a pretty good transit. It's a lot better than, say, Mercury retrograde anywhere else, because there's an opportunity to do a lot of reunion type of experiences with good friends, old friends, as well as old support system members. This is also a time where you might be noticing your popularity starting to soar with new and known people alike. And as we go past the 11th of the month, you're also going to be noticing a much more active and ambitious social life, and a lot more active and ambitious people starting to be a bit more of a driving force with personal projects and all of that good stuff. We also have a full moon in Aquarius on August 9th, which is lighting up your 5th house of love, romance, as well as anything related to personal business enterprises and artistic pursuits. And this full moon is all about chapter change. This is a time of important graduations, page turns, and the endings and beginnings of new eras. And so for a lot of you, this is going to open up a sort of a middle period of August in the 2 weeks following the 9th, where a certain stage that you've been in is coming to an end around either your personal life or, again, a personal business ambition or a personal business project. Now, this could be a very important, very successful wrap-up, right? This can be a time where level ups happen, changing of status in relationships, or maybe even the end of a cycle that we've been stuck in, whether we are in a relationship or we're not in a relationship. Or this could indicate the successful completion and graduation of something you've been investing a lot of yourself into. But with that full moon, again, it's making for a very happy, but also, again, very active middle of the month. We have Venus and Jupiter in Cancer almost all month long. This is your 10th house of career, upward mobility, status, promotions, and raises. Venus will be here up until the 25th, but Jupiter's going to be here for the rest of the year and beyond. And with these two together for the majority of August in your 10th house, this is a time where a lot of you are getting a chance to live it large, especially when it comes to becoming a bigger name in your field, in your career, becoming a lot more popular. The work that you're doing, the work that you're putting out there is becoming a lot more well-known. And you are kind of getting sort of the office favorite or market favorite kind of treatment if you're putting yourself out there to be engaged. We also have Jupiter raising up the amount of compensation, the amount of money that you're able to make, as well as bringing in new favor from authority figures or people who have a lot of sway, influence, and power. And so this is a really strong month for you to start influencing some important shifts or some important changes that you would like to see become new normals in your career, in business, with money, as we go through the rest of 2025 as well. After the 25th, Venus will be moving on into Leo, that 11th house of friendships and your support system. And things are becoming a lot more extroverted in your personal life. Your relationships or your love life is becoming a lot more adventurous, a lot more outgoing. And we're also seeing opportunities to even find new love stories or new love journeys, new love adventures, or maybe new relationship goals arise through actions with our friends or interactions with our friends, experiences. Again, it's all about getting you out of a container this month. Mars will be entering your sign on the 6th, and he's going to be here for a good while. And with Mars in your sign, there is a big focus on getting rid of anything that has been keeping you in a space where things are moving too slowly. Whether you're moving too slowly, whether other people are doing things too slowly, usually it's a mix, because Mars is all about action, energy, and blockbusting. And in this case, it's focusing mostly on your personal path, your personal projects, your personal pursuits, and the things that you're doing independently. With Mars here, from the 6th on, there is a big kind of tone shift in your life where there is a kind of a challenge to anything that has become kind of a fixed structure to your detriment. This can actually be a really, really good transit because you're noticing a lot more power, a lot more backup coming your way. But it can also be very personally challenging because it's going to call you out where you are too meek, too timid, too slow, or too lazy. And I'm saying this to myself as well as a Libra rising. And it's important to be honest with yourself when that comes up. And finally, we also have the sun and a new moon lighting up Virgo on the 23rd and setting the tone for the end of August and the first couple of weeks of September. And this is occurring in your 12th house of the past and private matters. And it looks like there might be something that you get a chance to revive or bring back to life from the past, something that maybe you wish you could have stuck with, something that you were working on but had to give up, or maybe just something that you had completed in an earlier era of your story, but you'd like to give another go. So that is what I've got for your astrology for August, Libra. I hope you found this helpful. If you did, don't forget my name is Nico, Son of Selene, and should you ever want to get a personal reading with me, head on over to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com. Blessed be all of my Scorpio people out there, sun, moon, and rising. It's time to have a look and see what is going on when it comes to your monthly astrological forecast for August 2025. And just a quick reminder for everybody out there, if you ever want to get a personal reading with me, head on over to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com, or you can follow those links in the down bar below. So what is going on when it comes to August? August, I've been saying it for everybody, it is an extremely special month because all month long, start to finish, we've got Uranus, recently arrived in Gemini, in a very strong engagement with Saturn and Neptune, a happy sextile, as well as a harmonious trine to Pluto. And while this is a month-long wave, we want to pay close attention as well to certain peaks that are going to be coming up on and around the 11th and on and around the 28th. But remember, it's a month-long thing, so don't fixate on dates. I hate it when people do that. One of the things that's going to be really, really good about this transit for you is that there seems to be this influx of new bonus capital coming to you from all areas of life. Uranus is in a part of your chart that is trying to bring in wealth, bring in good fortune to you through all kinds of roads that are not really a part of what has maybe been what you're used to or the roads that you've been on. So this could be through personal projects, bonus activities, extra monies, investments, things that you share with other people, personal business or self-employment matters. This is a time where extra capital is really coming your way. But we're also seeing this also show up through work. With Saturn and Neptune in your 6th house, there is something going on where it's possible you might be changing work paths or work trajectories to also cement some kind of extra coin coming your way. And this is not only going to be very sweet on you, but of course, sweet on your household as well. Just be prepared. This is going to require you to be ready to merge spaces, merge journeys, merge lanes with other people, and start getting involved with things that are not really a part of what you would consider to be your normal everyday. We also have the Sun and Mercury retrograde in Leo, which is your 10th house of career, upward mobility, and promotions. And Mercury retrograde here is kind of a mixed bag, and he's going to be direct as of the 11th and beyond, but Mercury retrograde here is kind of, again, it's a bit of a mixed bag. So one of the things that can be good about Mercury retrograde here is that we are seeing a return of a happier period. whether it's a happier period in terms of your earning power, a happier period in terms of maybe old trends in your business, or a return of clients, customers, old opportunities. Those are all really good things. And the sun is really kind of raising that up for you too. But this can also indicate some complications that may show up where you need to be ready to adjust how you're putting yourself out there, whether it's your availability, whether it's your schedule, or maybe even how you are relating to and talking to other people, because you might be working with different colleagues, different clients, different customers, a different base. Whatever the case is, with the Sun and Mercury retrograde, it can be a good thing, but it's a learning curve. After the 11th, things will smooth out. We have a full moon in Aquarius on the 9th, which is happening in your 4th house of home, family, living situation, and home economy. And so the 2 weeks following the 9th is actually creating a very strong influence window where you are getting a chance to close up business with something that has maybe been a long-standing concern or priority around home, family, or home economy. Now, for a lot of you, this can be a really good passage, especially when it comes to, say, looking to make some kind of move or change something about your home environment or close up some kind of old family financial business. This can also, however, indicate the rising up of some kind of maybe family issue that has not been properly resolved. And remember, some people don't handle strong astrological energy with grace or admirable dignity. So there could be some stuff that comes up around family matters in that 2 weeks as well. Sorry, I had to break there. It's almost like the entire cast of Sons of Anarchy just rode on their motorcycles past the apartment. And so here we go. We also have Venus and Jupiter together in Cancer almost all month long. Venus will be there up until the 25th, and Jupiter is there until next year. And this is your 9th house of expansion, growth, big moves, big travel opportunities, as well as anything relating to official matters, spirituality, and anything that is going to, again, make you a bigger name in the world. Now, Venus here is very, very cool because you are getting a chance to explore a little bit more adventure, a little bit more wildness with romance, especially when it comes to getting a touch of the exotic, a touch of the foreign, really kind of stepping out of what has maybe become a familiar pattern or, playing it, in kind of more of a repetitive way as far as maybe our activities are concerned, where we're going, how we're doing. Things are really getting shook up nicely. Venus here is also bringing us an extra spiritual element to your personal life this month, and so that might be something you're noticing waking up either in a partner or showing up in somebody new. Jupiter is going to be, of course, making you all the more prominent. This is a 15 minutes of fame kind of transit, so you really do want to make sure that you're out there to be visible. And this could also indicate the attraction of people that could be coming in and helping to boost you or something you care about as well, to make it a lot more prominent and a lot more prolific. After the 25th, Venus moves on into Leo, and you're becoming a little bit of a money magnet and kind of the office favorite or the market favorite. And so that's a nice way to kind of wrap up the final week of August as we step into September. Mars will be entering Libra on the 6th, your 12th house of the past, private matters, secrets, and hidden opportunities in old business. And this is going to open a chapter from the 6th of August up until around the end of September, where a lot of you Scorpio people are going to be doing a great deal of purging of things that have become maybe long-term attachments, long-term issues, long-term fixations, long-term situations that really just need to be let go of. Things that either continue to take energy and opportunities from you, or things that continue to reintroduce things you don't want to you. We have to be smart about not latching to everything. And usually when Mars goes into the 12th house, it's all about getting rid of what we've latched to our detriment, or what's latched to us. And finally, we also have the Sun and a new moon in Virgo on the 23rd. And this is in your 11th house of friendships, your support system, and community. And with these two together here, there is likely going to be some kind of very important new beginning as it relates to your social life, especially because these two together are all about attracting not only new friends, but also, creating new starts and new journeys for existing friendships to become all the more substantial. And this is not only just for the end of August, but also the first couple of weeks of September. And so be ready to get out there and have some fun. So that's what I've got for you, Scorpio people. I hope you found this helpful. If you did, don't forget my name is Nico, Son of Selene, and should you ever want to get a personal reading with me, head on over to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com. Blessed be all of my Sagittarius people out there, Sun, Moon, and Rising. It's time to have a look and see what is going on when it comes to your monthly astrological forecast for August 2025. And just a quick reminder for everybody out there, if you ever want to get a personal reading with me, head on over to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com, or you can follow the links in the down bar below. So what is going on when it comes to your August? August is a very unique month that we have, and that is because we've got Uranus recently arrived in Gemini in a month-long engagement with Saturn and Neptune, as well as Pluto. And whenever we have our four outermost planets start to really engage, especially for long-term like this, in a really good way across the board, you might be noticing the road is changing shape. The road map is changing shape. And that is because Uranus is sextile Saturn and Neptune, as well as trine Pluto, again, all month long. However, there are some peaks to pay attention to on and around the 11th and on and around the 28th, but I don't recommend just focusing on dates. I never like it when people do that, because especially this is going to be long term. Now, for you, this is going to be very important for both your personal life and for any kind of important collaborations that you might want to engage in that are going to be raising you up in the world of business and finance. It's kind of doing both the finance world and the love world at the same time. Uranus is in your 7th house of partnerships and closest one-on-one connections. And we also have Pluto in your 3rd house of communications. And so what can often happen here is that we are getting a chance to be raised up by merging journeys, merging roads, and merging spaces. Now, for a lot of you, this could also indicate something happening where you might notice a lot of projects that you're working on, a career path that you're on, dovetail quite nicely onto something somebody else has going on, and vice versa, and everybody is getting raised up for it. This is also a time, excuse me, where we might also have something shift in a relationship setup or a relationship dynamic that is allowing you and a significant other, or maybe even the arrival of somebody new, to make some kind of important shift as it relates to a material or career trajectory. This is all for the good, but this is something that's going to require some finesse as we go through August. We also have the Sun and Mercury retrograde in Leo. Mercury is retrograde up until the 11th, and then it turns direct. And this is going to be creating a situation where a lot of you are getting a chance to kind of go back in time, especially when it comes to being able to fix or undo or reset things that maybe are attached to or were born from a path or born from a choice or a commitment in the past that has maybe kept us on a road we don't want to be on anymore. Because Mercury retrograde is with the Sun, there is a big focus on resets. And I actually mentioned in a weekly horoscope recently about reversals for the better. And that's a big theme of your August. Now, this could be really good when it comes to reversals for the better in terms of maybe a financial trend, your social life, maybe even when it comes to living situations and family setups. But we have to be ready to be humble and accept a change or a pivot away from something that we started or set off on once upon a time. After the 11th, things are smooth sailing, but we are going to need to be also catching up for lost time. We have a full moon in Aquarius on the 9th, which is going to be, again, activating that 3rd house of communications, pacts, promises, commitments, contracts, as well as helpful third parties and collaborations. And this is going to open up a 2-week window where a lot of you are getting a chance to break free or wrap up some kind of commitment, some kind of contract or agreement that has kept you maybe bound to the journey or to a situation of another, whether it's another person, whether it is a project, whether it's an agency, whether it's a work matter. Something that has basically become kind of a binding influence is getting released or wrapped up. And this is going to be actually cleaning your plate quite a bit. But the nice thing about this full moon is also bringing that wrap up full circle. And so there could be some kind of payoff for it as well. Venus and Jupiter are together in Cancer almost all month long. Venus is there up until the 25th, and Jupiter is there for pretty much the next year. And with these two here in your 8th house, this is a time where you are going to be noticing a lot of bonus capital and bonus money coming your way. Jupiter in the 8th house is all about bringing wealth to us from every avenue possible. And you might be noticing that you are getting a chance to take part in a lot of pursuits and a lot of engagements that do have some kind of profit in the mix. And with Jupiter here in the 8th house, you may even notice a lot of things that you've been investing yourself in, whether it's financially investing or investing your time, are also becoming a lot more valuable and are giving you back more value. Venus in the 8th house is also going to be attracting a lot of gifts and good financial opportunities your way, but it is also going to be bringing a big focus on love and romance, especially when it comes to bringing in more vulnerability and intimacy into your personal life, something you might be exploring with a significant other or finding from a new person that's attracted into your world, because Venus likes that too. After the 25th, Venus moves on into Leo, and it's time to get ready to get out of your bubble. It's time to get ready to get out of your normal, because you are going to be getting heavily incentivized at the end of August and throughout September to step into a lot of brand new uncharted territory, not just in your personal life, but also in business. We have Mars entering Libra on the 6th, which is your 11th house of friendships, your support system, and community. And with Mars here, this is going to be a period where, not just for August, but also September, you are going to be noticing that a lot of friendships, a lot of close connections are becoming tighter, right? Mars is the warrior planet, so honor and love and affection amongst brothers in arms, sisters in arms, the crew, the squad, is a huge priority for Mars. And with Mars, this is going to be a time where you might be noticing your social life going through a bit of a transformation as people are really showing up for you, and also teaming up with you on things that you normally pursue by yourself. This could also, however, be a time where Mars, because Mars has no tolerance for fake people or for personas or people who, are faking it, could be revealing where some fake friends or some false loyalties exist. And finally, we also have the Sun and a new moon in Virgo on the 23rd, which is indicating a couple of weeks beginning on the 23rd, not just for the end of August, but also early September, for some kind of new beginning, career commitment, or business level up getting put on the table. This could indicate some kind of new role, or maybe even some kind of environmental change going on around a work or career space that's going to actually be quite gainful for you. So that's what we've got for your astrology for August. I hope you found this helpful. If you did, don't forget my name is Nico, Son of Selene, and should you ever want to get a personal reading with me, you can always head on over to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com. Blessed be all of my Capricorn people out there, Sun, Moon, and Rising. It's time to have a look and see just what's going on when it comes to your monthly astrological forecast for August 2025. And just a quick reminder for everybody out there, if you ever want to get a personal reading with me, head on over to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com, or you can follow the links in the down bar below. So what's going on when it comes to your August? August has a very strange but very beneficial theme to it. We've got Uranus, newly arrived in Gemini, all month long, sextile to Saturn and Neptune, as well as trine Pluto in Aquarius. And while this is a month-long energy, you do want to remember that. There are some peak dates I want you to keep in mind, just don't fixate on them, on and around the 11th and on and around the 28th. And all month long, these planets are going to be doing a bit of a workover as it relates to your work life, your personal economy, as well as your home economy. Uranus is in your 6th house of work, reputation, and schedule, and Pluto is in your 2nd house of income and employment. So this is going to be bringing in a lot of pleasant surprises where over and over and over again, a lot of work processes, a lot of financial processes are going to be kind of going through a transformation and rebirth process and bringing more money every single time. But it can get a bit tiring if you are not careful. A lot of good shifts happening in rapid succession can be a bit exhausting on you and the crew. That being said, this is going to be a time where you want to be open to new opportunities arising from changing spaces, or merging tracks with other people, or whatever is coming up here to kind of get you out of a rut. It is going to be a very busy and hectic month for you, but also one that is going to be very profitable for the Capricorns who want to get out and do things. Because this is also a time where Uranus is going to be shaking up a lot of fixed structures that have maybe overstayed their relevance in your story. We also have the Sun and Mercury retrograde in Leo up until the 11th when Mercury turns direct. And with the Sun and Mercury retrograde in your 8th house, this is a time where a lot of you are getting a chance to collect a little bit. Mercury retrograde in the 8th house is a great time, especially with the Sun there as well, for a lot of things to get shuffled about in your world, especially when it comes to material circumstances where things that we ended up with that don't belong to us and things that belong to us that didn't end up with us start going back to where they belong. This is also going to be a really, really strong month for anybody looking to speed up the maturation or the accomplishment of any kind of projects, goals, or works that you've had in progress, especially around maybe big expenses or debts or anything that you're looking to invest in. We also have a full moon in Aquarius on the 9th, and this is taking place in your 2nd house of income, employment, and security. Now, with this full moon here, it's likely in the middle 2 weeks of August, there could be some kind of important wrap-up, completion, or transition happening around something involving work. Now, this could be something changing up where you're getting a chance to end an era and turn a page. Some of you may get a chance to change jobs if you're looking to change jobs, or you might just be simply getting a chance to end one chapter and begin another and close up a lot of old business that might have kept you stuck, again, in an old era or an old space as far as maybe your work life, your earning power, your reputation, or just what the status quo has been. There will be a need for some adaptation from you as we go into the second half of August, but it is likely something that is going to, again, come with its own good fortune for those who do. We have Venus and Jupiter together in your 7th house of partnerships and closest one-on-one connections, Cancer, up until the 25th. Jupiter's going to be here for until next year, and Venus is going to be moving on into Leo on the 25th. But for the majority of August, they are here together. And all close one-on-one connections, romantic partnerships, friendships, business partnerships are thriving in August because Venus is bringing in more closeness, more comfort, more investments of loyalty, but also demonstrations of affection and care. Things are actually going to be very sweet. People are really going out of their way to be open with their affection and care with you. And you're also getting a chance to attract a lot of people that are going to be the best candidates for close one-on-one connections, whether they are platonic, romantic, or business in nature. Jupiter here is also going to be elevating the status and stature of all joint ventures, maybe joint stories, commitments, and connections that you have, as Jupiter likes to raise everything up in terms of not only its status, but also make it a lot more prolific, make it a lot more driven, make it a lot more accomplished. And with Jupiter also being the planet of novelty and luck and prosperity, it's very likely as well you may be getting some good news or hearing about some good news through partnerships of all kinds where not only doors for new prosperity are coming your way, but even some new novel adventures, new novel activities, and things that are going to be helping you guys to keep things fresh, but also keep things exciting are also going to be plentiful. We have Mars entering Libra on August 6th. And this is your 10th house of career, upward mobility, status, promotions, and raises. And so starting on the 6th and well into September, we have Mars working really, really hard on giving you some kind of competitive edge, or maybe giving you some kind of competitive shift as it relates to your work and career processes. Mars likes to break down walls. Mars likes to unlock chains. And so if you've been feeling like maybe your work life, your career life, or maybe even a path that you're on has kind of been going in circles, this is a really helpful aspect for a lot of you. But just keep in mind, Mars in the 10th house can also bring its fair share of stressors. Sometimes that competitive energy, sometimes that intensity can also bring up tense rivalries, maybe even conflicts in the workplace. And so we just want to make sure that we are following this with a measured approach, and we're taking a measured approach to how we are maybe doing our work. We also finally have the sun and a new moon lighting up Virgo on the 23rd. And so this is your 9th house of expansion, big moves, big travel opportunities, prominence, as well as your spiritual life and official matters. And it looks like you're really getting out into the big wide world as we finish up August and begin September. This is a great transit for new beginnings with things that you are looking to maybe actually elevate in the eyes of others, things that you're looking to promote, things that you're looking to share or boost the popularity of, whether it's yourself or something that you're working on. A lot of you could be in really good shape if you have been planning on getting something put together around some kind of important trip or some kind of important move, whether it's something for August or September or even later on in the year. And this could also indicate some kind of big boost to something in your life that has maybe fallen behind itself in progress or stayed small where it could be bigger. So that is what I've got for your astrology for August. I hope you found this helpful. If you did, don't forget my name is Nico, Son of Selene, and should you ever want to get a personal reading with me, head on over to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com. Blessed be all of my Aquarius people out there, Sun, Moon, and Rising. It's time to have a look and see just what's going on when it comes to your monthly astrological forecast for August 2025. And just a quick reminder for everybody out there, if you ever want to get a more personal reading with me, head on over to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com, or you can follow those links in the down bar below. So what's going on when it comes to your August? Well, August for you and for everybody is a very strange but very powerful and very beneficial month. We've got Uranus, newly arrived in Gemini, all month long, sextile to Saturn and Neptune, as well as trine Pluto. And while this is a month-long experience, there are a couple of peak times you want to pay attention to. Just don't focus exclusively on those peak times. And that is on and around the 11th and on and around the 28th. Now, Uranus is in your 5th house of love, romance, as well as personal business enterprises and artistic pursuits. And with the trine that it's making to Pluto in your sign, there is a big focus on you getting a chance to actually have things shook up for the good in all of these matters, especially when it comes to the future trajectory of maybe your love life, or maybe around some kind of creative business work or some kind of personal entrepreneurial effort that you have. Now, Uranus trine to Pluto can indicate a surprise transition that is actually really, really good for everybody, but it does require us to be ready to fast forward or double our efforts in order to keep up the pace. And that could be a big theme of August, whether you're in a relationship or you're single and looking, or this is more of a business or work concern. The sextile that Uranus is making to Saturn and Neptune, however, is also highly beneficial because there could also be some overlap going on where you're getting a chance to merge journeys, merge interests, or merge spaces with people that can really help boost you, or maybe I'll scratch your back, you'll scratch mine kind of way. Whether this is helping you out in love or helping you out in business or something that you're doing for your own personal artistic desires or your own personal journey, it's a beautiful, beautiful month, but you're going to have to be ready to be fast forwarded in your pace. The Sun and Mercury retrograde are also together in Leo until the 11th. And this is your 7th house of closest one-on-one connections. So the boyfriend, girlfriend, BFF, business partner, husband, wife, roommate, those kind of close one-on-one connections and joint journeys. Now, Mercury retrograde here is giving you a chance to reconnect with certain elements of the past. And this could indicate reconnecting with old goals, old aspirations, or maybe even old pursuits that once upon a time you shared with a partner or with a love interest or a business ally, as well as even bringing old projects or old pursuits or old wishes back on the table. This can also be a time where maybe a blast from the past could show up as well. That could also be a big theme of the back half of July. With the Sun and Mercury retrograde here together, it's important to pay attention to what from the past can be reintegrated if we want it, and what should be left behind if we know objectively it's not good. This is going to be a month where you have to be neutral in your judgment of things, because we don't want to say everything from the past is bad, because that's immature and stupid. But we also don't want to say everything from the past is good, because that could be just us trying to restart old patterns. After the 11th, we've got Mercury turning direct in this area, and there's going to be also the acceleration of something that you are looking to maybe mature as far as maybe raising up the status, whether it is the material status or the accomplishment status or the status of a relationship or union in your world. Well, we also have on the 9th a full moon in your sign. And this is going to be your full moon, pretty much, because in the 2 weeks following the 9th, you are getting a chance to release yourself of something that you have been, kind of stuck in, or has been stuck on you, that has been a massive impediment, blockage, or stall in your story. Now, when we have a full moon in our sign, it is all about us, our personal journey, our personal path, and our personal pursuits, irrespective of what we've got going on with other people. And so this could be a lot of you getting a chance to do a big purge, a big cleaning of house, or you may notice a big purge or a big cleaning of house going on all around you anyway. We've got Venus and Jupiter in Cancer almost all month long. Venus is there up until the 25th, but Jupiter is there until next year. And this is your 6th house of work, your reputation, your schedule, the teams that you're on, the people that you serve, and the people that you serve with. And when we have Venus and Jupiter together here, you're going to be noticing that there is going to be a transformation in your reputation. This is one of the 15 minutes of fame kinds of combos. Usually when we have Jupiter in either houses 6 or 9, in your case 6, there does seem to be a boost in one's popularity, whether it's at work or it's out in the big wide world. But Venus here is also attracting a lot of opportunities for new wealth to come your way, or maybe even get a chance to finally invest in some kind of shift that you're looking to make, as far as maybe how you want to be putting yourself out there, how you want people to value you, as well as maybe some important environmental shifts or transitions that maybe you're looking forward to, or maybe will be a pleasant surprise at work or in some kind of work or business venture. Mars will be entering Libra on August 6th, which is your 9th house of expansion, growth, big moves, big travel opportunities, long-distance connections, official matters in your spiritual life. Now, with Mars entering the 9th house on the 6th, he's going to be there well up into close to the end of September. And this is going to be knocking down a lot of situations that maybe you have been stuck to as well, but it's coming from the help of other people that you're able to do this. Mars in the 9th house is all about opening up roads where we did not have roads before to goals that we are looking to realize, whether this does have to do with big moves, trips, travel opportunities, or things that we are looking to change about what we have set up in terms of contracts, agreements, what we've been living with, what's been kind of influencing us. Mars here is helping us to open roads to what we want and away from what we don't want to have or be in anymore. Mars will also be bringing closer to you, whether it is closer literally or figuratively, a lot of champions to your cause, both known and unknown. People that could actually be very valuable allies in a lot of your personal pursuits. And so you want to make sure that you are welcoming to them. And finally, we've got the Sun and a new moon in Virgo on August 23rd. And this is lighting up your 8th house of shared resources, passive income, as well as intimacy and bonus capital. Now, the Sun and a new moon together here is definitely focusing more on the practical side of things. And some of you Aquarius people may be finding that as we finish up August and step into September, there could be some kind of special new bonus capital, bonus money coming your way, whether it is something that you're discovering on your own, something evolving out of something that you already have, or maybe something that does come through a partner, a business partner, or a romantic partner. So that is what I've got for your astrology for August. I hope you found this helpful. If you did, don't forget my name is Nico, Son of Selene, and should you ever want to get a personal reading with me, head on over to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com. Blessed be all of my Pisces people out there, Sun, Moon, and Rising. It's time to have a look and see what's going on when it comes to your monthly astrological forecast for August 2025. And just a quick reminder, if you ever want to get a more personalized reading from me, head on over to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com, or you can follow the links in that down bar below. So what's going on when it comes to your August? Well, August is a very bizarre month for everybody, but it is also something very beneficial. It's a month where the roadmap, however, completely changes for all of us, because we've got Uranus recently arrived in Gemini, sextile to Saturn and Neptune, as well as trine Pluto all month long. And whenever our 4 outermost planets start to engage in this way, luckily in a very harmonious way with these aspects, we start to see what we're working with, where we're going, and also the path we've taken to this point kind of go through a massive transition. Now, for a lot of you, this is going to be something that is bringing in an incredible boost to your personal and home economies, while at the same time completely overhauling a lot of paths and plans that you may have had when it comes to career, living situation, residential setups, or again, old commitments from the past. Pluto is in your 12th house after all. And so all matters relating to the past, old business as it affects the present, whether it's old, old matters or old commitments or things that we started ourselves or things we got saddled up with, are getting cleared out. And yet at the same time, Uranus and Saturn and Neptune are substituting a lot of things that maybe we've become accustomed to, or even a lot of things we thought we were on the trajectory towards, with things that maybe are really well suited to us, but are not things that we have actually been able to give priority or even entertain in earnest. And there could be a lot of big moves, literal and figurative, in the rest of 2025 and even early 2026 that get started from the trends that change here. There are some important key dates to pay attention to, but I don't want any of you to fix on it. Please don't. On and around the 11th and on and around the 28th, we've got these energies rising up to a couple of important peaks, but it's an all-month-long experience. We also have the Sun and Mercury retrograde together in Leo, and Mercury will be turning direct on the 11th. And this is your 6th house of work, your reputation, your schedule, the teams that you're on, the people that you serve, and the people that you serve with. And Mercury has been retrograde since the back end of July. And for a lot of you Pisces people, this has been a time of really changing what it is that you are kind of choosing to invest in as far as the people that you're serving, what you're staying loyal to, and where you want to maintain things that maybe are not good to maintain anymore, as far as work processes, community, business, or anything relating to old setups from the past. And with the Sun here, you're getting a chance to not only do that, but you're also going to be having an opportunity to reverse, unmake, or rescind things that maybe you yourself had a hand in setting up that you want to take back. Mercury retrograde is also, however, going to be shaking a lot of things up in terms of schedule, as well as maybe even obligations to other people, both on and off the job. So it can be kind of a topsy-turvy month, but again, reversals and rearrangements can be made to serve us well. Once Mercury turns direct, it's a lot more smooth sailing for a lot of you, and it does also look like things will be speeding up when it comes to being able to cross some kind of financial or material hump that maybe you have been dealing with up until now. We have a full moon in Aquarius on August 9th, and this is a moon that's good, but a moon that could be a bit challenging. As a full moon in the 12th house is a clearing moon, and you may have heard me remark this as, this kind of aspect as kind of a breakdown, breakthrough kind of full moon. Full moons are all about transitions. It's all about culminations and the endings of an era. And in the 2 weeks following the 9th, this is all about eliminating something that has followed us for a long time or has become a fixture in our world that maybe either no longer does or never was a good fixture in our world. Sometimes this can be something that we're happy to see go. Sometimes this is something that is difficult for us to process as it goes. But the important thing to remember is that it is also a clean slate that comes because of this full moon. Whether we feel we have adequate resolution of the situation or not is irrelevant. This is about things getting cleared for the better, but it can be a tough process in the 2 weeks following the 9th. We've got Venus and Jupiter together in Cancer almost all month long. Venus is there until the 25th, and Jupiter is there all the way up until next year. And this is your 5th house of love and romance, as well as personal business enterprises and artistic pursuits. And with Jupiter being here, this is a time where you are noticing that your personal life, your love life, is starting to become a lot more outgoing, a lot more adventurous, but also at the same time getting a chance to do some real fantasy fulfillment because there is a lot more opportunity and supply to make it so. Whether these are goals that you have with a significant other, or you might be having this goal for yourself and noticing that the world around you is starting to favor a fantasy or an ideal or an object of interest that you have that you would like to share with a partner. The world seems to be kind of transforming to favor that versus whatever. But with Venus also being here, this is going to also usher in kind of a honeymoon era for you. And there could also be a lot of new love stories getting underway for those of you who are single or are available to new people. And with Venus and Jupiter combined, this could also indicate the establishment of some kind of new long-term love connection or elevation of romantic status. After the 25th, Venus moves on into Leo, that 6th house of work, and starts to help you out in the money department by bringing a lot more value to what you put out into the world. Mars enters Libra on the 6th, which is your 8th house of shared resources, passive income, intimacy, as well as shared responsibilities. And Mars here kind of likes to work over both sides, the practical and the intimate. On the practical side, Mars is going to be helping you to do a number on a lot of financial woes and challenges and blocks, whether they are debts, whether they are slowdowns, maybe it's issues going on with other people, glass ceilings, barricades, it does not matter. Mars is all about stampeding through anything that could be kind of holding you up or binding you in situations where you can't seem to move, getting you out of stasis. Just be careful with Mars in the 8th house because it can also bring temptation towards financial excess, or spending excess, I should say. And so you don't want to take out too much on loans and you don't want to overspend. We also have, however, Mars working really, really hard on breaking down walls when it comes to intimacy. Mars is all about the carnal, and Mars energy itself is all about satisfaction in being, in a body. And so it could also make for a very hot month and a half, because it's not just for August, once we get to the 6th and beyond. And finally, we also have a sun and new moon in Virgo on August 23rd, lighting up your 7th house of partnerships and closest one-on-one connections, your boyfriend, girlfriend, BFF, business partner, husband, wife, roommate, those kinds of close connections and joint ventures. And a new moon and the sun here is setting up the end of August and the beginning of September with an opportunity for not only a huge shift in terms of maybe a relationship status, but possibly the advent or the evolution or level up of a partnership process, and even something that could create an important alliance or crystallize an important alliance or sharing of roads. So that is what I've got for you all. I hope you found this helpful. If you did, don't forget my name is Nico, Son of Selene, and should you ever want to get a personal reading with me, head on over to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com.